I was in a corporate training this morning showing clients how to enable Power Pivot tab in Excel, and I was surprised to see a totally new Excel options dialog box. Later in the day, greater news were announced that I want to share with you. I am Nabil Murad. Besides 3 other amazing features, I show you in this tutorial the new image function. With the image function, your images can now be part of the worksheet instead of floating on top. You can move and resize cells, sort and filter, and work with images within an Excel table. So let's have a look. This is my Excel workbook. If I go to the File tab to show you the version of Excel I'm using, I click on File and then I click on Account. And this is the latest update. I'm working on the Insider Edition, the beta channel, and the version I'm using is 2209, and here is the build. If I want to open the Excel Options dialog box, I click on Options. Alternatively, you can use the shortcut Alt-FT, and the Excel Options dialog box opens, and it has a totally new look. It's more colorful. You can explore the different categories, but if you click on the Quick Access toolbar, you can see that the icons are colored right now, and that's much more beautiful, and you can see the gray color of the different panes. That was the first option I noticed this morning. Let me show you some other options as well. Many of you know that I'm a big fan of data validation. I even wrote a textbook about data validation called Data Validation, a Backdoor to Master Excel. It's available on my website, OfficeInstructor.com, and also available on Amazon. In this book, I covered so many topics, among them how to create a searchable drop-down list. Now you don't need to use complicated functionality to create a searchable drop-down list. Well, this functionality is built inside Excel right now. It started in Excel Online, and now it's available on the desktop version. In this worksheet, I have a list of names, the city, the state, and the balance, and I would like to create a drop-down list for the names. It's a long list of names. So to create the drop-down list, I select cell F2. I use the shortcut Alt-DL, Tab-L-Tab. And then I select the entire column of name, and then I hit OK. And I would have created the drop list. If I click on the down arrow to select a name, that's a huge list of names. But let's say I'm looking for a name that starts with letter A. So if I type A, look what happens. The entire list shrinks just to the names having letter A. But I'm looking for a name that starts with A and L, so when I type L, the list shrinks even more. We call it progressive disclosure, and I can select the name I want. That's becoming a lot easier. If you are working collaboratively, then the next feature, announced today, Show Changes. It's another feature that was available in the online version of Excel, and now they brought it to the desktop version. If I want to make a change, or if I'm sharing this file with multiple colleagues, I want to know who made the change and what was that change. And I'm going to simulate this situation by making a change to this cell. Instead of 145, I type 258, and when I hit enter, I would have made the change. Now let's have a look at this change. If I go to the Review tab, and then I click on Show Changes, a pane will open on the right side. And it shows me that in cell D4 I made a change and the numbers changed from 145 to 258. These are other changes that I made as well. There is a nice filter functionality here that can show you the changes in a range or in any other sheet you select. So I have 4 sheets. I can select to see the changes in one of the other sheets as well. For decades we knew that a chart is a floating object on top of the grid. So if I want to create a chart, let's say for these numbers, I use the shortcut Alt F1, and the chart is created and it floats on top of the grid. Let's delete it. Until in 2004, Edward Tufte created a tiny chart that lives in one single cell. It's called the spark line. If you want to create a spark line, you go to the Insert tab and you select it from here. And the beauty of the sparkline is that it's a tiny chart that lives in one single cell. I can create it and I can copy it to the entire range. Today we are celebrating the same situation with the image function. For decades, an image was just floating on top of the grid. Let's explore the beautiful image function introduced today at 3:32 p.m. So if I click on the image worksheet, this is a list of tutorials I posted in August 2022 to my YouTube channel. I want to bring to this worksheet in column C the cover picture for each one of these tutorials, and I have them saved to my website, OfficeInstructor. This is the URL for each one of the pictures, and I'll be using the new image function to bring them inside the worksheet so that each picture lives in a cell. So if I type equal image, and then I hit the tab key, this is the screen tip of the image function. The first argument is to provide the source, which is the URL to the picture, and because I have it in column A, I'm going to click on cell A3. I then type a comma. If you want your picture to be accessible, then you can add alternative text. I'm going to skip this argument by typing another comma. This third argument is about the size of the picture. If you select 0, that means you will fit the image in the cell and maintain the aspect ratio. But if you select 1, that means you will fill the cell with the image and ignore its aspect ratio. However, if you select 2, that means the cell will grow beyond the cell boundary. If you want a custom size for your picture, then you select the last option 3, and accordingly you have to provide argument 4 for the height and argument 5 for the width. I'll be typing 0 for this argument. I close the bracket. Look at the magic when I hit enter. Now the picture was extracted from an online source. I can select this cell and then hover over the lower right corner as if I'm copying a formula, and I copy the function all the way down. Et voila! I was able to extract the cover pictures for all my tutorials. Not only this, but I can sort the pictures. I can filter the pictures. So if I want to sort the picture, I select the URL column and then I go to the data tab of the ribbon. When I click on A to Z, I'm sorting everything, including the pictures. Let's do even more. I want to filter and extract some of the covers corresponding to some of the tutorials. Then I'm going to bring the filter functionality, Ctrl-Shift-L. Now I can see the down pointing arrow. I click here and in the search box, I just want the tutorials having UN. I hit OK, and look at that. I was able to filter the list, including the cells having the images. Today is a great celebration with the image function and other new features of Excel. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to get the latest about Excel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.